this is the new course for the level 7, that is Research for Strategic Development. This whole course is all about, we will be doing a kind of, you can say, thesis, a whole
Okay.
thesis, but the selection of the topic is going to be by your choice. And we will be talking in detail that how we can conduct it. So
Okay.
the aim of this unit is to develop the knowledge, understanding, and the skills required to carry out research to meet the needs of strategic business management. We will be discussing and choosing those topics that are related to the strategic business development. It's a vast field. Literally, we can find a lot from it. Again, we are having learning outcomes for this and specific assessment criterias. We are having total 4 learning outcomes for this, and all the points which we will be discussing in the slides as well, they are from your indicative content. So we will be discussing today research proposal, then the best and SWOT analysis, and even the success criteria, which is depending on the SMART objectives. Then we have command verbs, which is very important. I did added slides in the PPT as well, so that it's easy for us to identify what are the command verbs and its description. This is the assignment brief for the course, in which we will be definitely making a research proposal and doing a word limit game, which is of 3,300 words. We're not going to exceed it more than 3,300. This is the limit only for this course.
Okay.
And in total, again, we are having 4 tasks. And in the whole task 4, till 1, 2, 3, 4, we are going to prepare a whole research proposal. And these are the suggested evidence, that is the extra guideline, which we will be definitely doing on the basis of whatever the topic you select, and a demo topic which I'll be giving it to you. Clear?
Okay. Yes. Clear.
Okay. This is the LO1.
Hmm.
Let's start with it. Identify a valid area for research to support the strategic development of a business area. So we already know that the topic which we are going to select for the research proposal, which you will be writing, inshallah, it is going to be from the streamline of strategic development of a business area. Strategic development is when we have to take decisions strategically by schemes, by options, by proper thorough investigation, that we are going to invest in an XYZ project. What will be the outcome? What will be the resources used? Everything is under this heading. So we are actually at a crucial stage of selecting a topic, and what things are used for it. We will be talking about that. But before that, let's start with the introduction as well. Command verb identify means ascertain the origin, nature, or definitive characteristics. That is, in detail corporation of the terms and terminologies. Research for strategic development involves the systematic investigation and analysis of the information to inform the decision making and planning processes within an organization. This means whenever we have to opt for a project or a merger or acquisition or anything which is going inside the company and will be affecting outside as well, we are going to take a decision. So, whatever the process is involved, a systematic way, we are going to include the strategic development as well in it, or a strategic decision making. It is proactive and purposeful effort to gather relevant data and insights that can guide the development of strategies aimed at achieving the organization's goal and objectives. Proactive means you're going to work for the goals first, and then we are going to take the actions on it. And it is purposeful. Whatever you're doing, it has a purpose behind. We're not doing it for any cause. It is due to some reasons we are having those decisions. And ultimately, they are aligned with the goals of the organizations and the objectives too. The research may encompass various aspects, including market trends, that is, what is going on in the market, in the industry, in our surroundings. Competitor
Hmm.
analysis, that is, what our competitors are doing. Because only you are not going to sell the perfume in the industry, there are other market and people as well. Those are called the competitors of your product. Consumer preferences, that is, what the consumers are demanding. We are the
Hmm.
consumers of an XYZ certain product. So we need to tell them, the producers, that what our preferences, likes, dislikes, and everything. Technological advancement, that is all about the IT. We need to be way too reluctant with what the latest technology is going on. Because obviously, if you're going to use the obsolete technologies and trends and methods, then definitely we cannot be sustainable for a longer period of time in the industry or a market. And other factors that could impact the organization's strategic direction. Other than these, which we discussed, there are other factors as well, which we will be doing one by one. So now, did you have a small idea that what we're going to talk about in this course?
Yes.
Now, these are the key elements of the research for strategic development, the definitions which we did right now. These are the aspects of it. The first one is data collection. Obviously, if you have an idea, you did the bachelor's as well, and you are gone
Mm.
through certain thesis step as well in the life and your research proposal as well in mostly semester 3 and 4. We
Mm-hmm.
always do research proposal, and for that we have to collect the data. It could be primary, it could be secondary. Most of the time at the bachelor's level, we always go for secondary level, the one selection or the criterion of the topics which already has been conducted by other people. But when you're in the master's and PhD, we always do the niche research or the primary research. We do it by ourselves. That is why we do get funding as well. So, gathering the data from the various sources, both internal and external, that is primary or it's secondary as well, to ensure a comprehensive understanding of the business environment. We are going to take the data from inside and outside both of the business criteria, and then we can formulate a good proposal. Analysis. Examining the collected data to identify patterns, trends, and potential opportunities or threats. This involves quantitative and qualitative analysis techniques. Now, in the research, we have separate part for the quantitative and the qualitative research. Quantitative is always emerging with the quantity, and quality is always more written data. That is how we do the analysis. That is what we think. Market research, understanding the dynamics of the market, including the needs, preferences, behaviors, and assessing the competitive landscape. That is when you're conducting a research, you need to see at your suburbs and surrounding that what is the requirement of the people, whether they need my research or not. Because we always do the research, like whatever the latest things comes on the internet, first the research has been held. That then it is posted on the internet and different websites. SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This is a very important terminology used in the business and even in other areas as well. In this, we see that what are the strengths and weaknesses of the business of the project in an area, and we see the opportunities and threats. That what if we don't opt for project A? What are the best opportunities for it, and what are the threats or challenges associated with it? Then feasibility studies, assessing the viability and practically of the potential strategies, considering the factors such as resource availability, financial implications, and organizational capabilities. Now, when we select a topic and we are doing a research on a very heavy, you can say, forum, we need to see that whatever the topic we are selecting, whether it is a perfect topic or not, will we be requiring any funding from the resource or from the organization? We have to see everything in it. Scenario planning, anticipating and preparing for the different future scenarios, allowing the organization to be agile and adaptive in the strategic approach. This means that whenever we are going to select a topic, we first had a story in our mind that how we have to execute it. Somehow we
Mm.
always have some idea that what do we want to do. So in that, what we are doing, we have to see the suburbs, we have to see that what will be the technologies, what will be the techniques used in it. Stakeholder analysis. Stakeholder is a person who takes the decisions in an organization. There are two streamlines for the stakeholder. One is internal and the other is external. External is the one who is associated with government, consumers, and the external parties, whereas internals are the people who are working inside the organization. They identify and understanding the interests, expectations, and influences of the key stakeholders in the strategic development process. Here, the key stakeholder means the people who have buy the shares in your organization or they have given the investments to you. They are known as
Mm.
board members as well. They have a full say in decision making too. So, research for
Okay.
strategic development serves as a foundation for the informed decision making. why we are doing the research for strategic development. First, it is a foundation or it's a
Mm.
whole backbone of decision making when we're taking the decisions in the organization for an XYZ project or something, helping organizations to formulate effective strategies. Whenever we go for the project or any decisions, we always go for steps and strategies first. So they help in it, the research for strategic development, and aligning with the vision of what the organization, that is the goals, mission statement, and the objectives, and long-term objectives as well, that were how way they are watching themselves after 5 years as an organization. Now, starting with 1.1 right now, to identify
Mm.
a valid area for research to support the strategic development of a business area, consider the following steps. When you will be selecting a topic, you need to consider these things. First is assess current business challenges. What is actually going inside the business? In it, analyze the current challenges and pain points within the business area. Pain points, the area which is the weaknesses, challenges, and you are going to work on it. For example, if a retail business is facing declining foot traffic, that is, the sales are not going up to hand and the people are getting redundant, in the
Mm.
organization, the challenge could be explored through research to identify the reasons behind the decline. That is, you can select and work that what is the reason people are rebundling or there is a complete traffic for decline. Then evaluate market trends. Investigate trends within the industry and broader market. When you're going to select the topic, you need to see that what are the trend going on inside the market and inside the rivalry competitors too. For example, in the tech sector, understanding emerging trends such as the adoption of artificial intelligence or blockchain would be crucial for the strategic development. Now, what it means uh, that this, because it's an example from the tech sector, we need to see that some people, they are not so much familiar with the tech and with the AI tools. Like there are so many tools right now in this world, but the
Yes.
people who are from 90s and 80s, they are literally zero sense of it. They need a
Mm.
proper training and workshops, and then they go for it. Like when the COVID came, we used to work on Zoom app and Microsoft Teams. So it was very difficult for the people and the candidates to work on it because before that, nobody knew that these kinds of application exist and we can learn online things as well. Understand consumer needs and preferences. Research consumer behaviors, preferences, and expectations. That is what they like, dislikes, their spending pattern, their everything is going to be discussed here. In the hospitality industry, understanding the shift in the consumer preference towards sustainable practices could guide strategic decisions. Hospitality industry is again a tourism and hospitality sector. We need to see that if the people are not doing a lot of expenditure on it, what is the cause? Then
Mm.
competitor analysis, that is your competitor, the business competitors. Conduct a thorough analysis of competitors in the business area. The chosen area which you have selected for the research proposal, you need to see what are the competitors of your business too. For example, a soft company might research competitors' products, offerings, pricing strategies, and consumer reviews to identify areas for improvement or differentiation. That is, when you are a software company, definitely you have to make new softwares and updates and apps. And apps are not similar, they are always unique, they are different, they have a different purpose. So for
Mm.
that, there is always a room for differentiation and an innovation. That is why you need to do a thorough research. Then we have regulatory and legal consideration. What it means that there are certain uh, research area and even boundaries which are allocated from the government side as well. Legal framework
Mm.
is always that we have to do everything according to the law. For example, in the healthcare sector, changes in the privacy laws could impact the data management practices, necessitating the strategic adjustments. That is, not everybody is allowed to assess the information of the patient. In the developed nations mostly, but in the developing nation, you see that the keen relative, which you don't meet in regular most of the time, they also visits you in the hospital. So they can easily grab the information from the desk.
Mm.
Tech innovations. Explore the technological advancements relevant to the business area. That is, whatever the research and the suburb of the business or the department you're working in, you need to see that what advancements you can do for it in the terms of technology. For example, a manufacturing company might research Industry 4.0 tech to enhance operational efficiency and competitiveness. Now, this is a tool which is used in the tech in the industry to make more functions of the daily activities going on in the business smooth. Employee satisfaction and productivity. Satisfaction of the employees is very necessary because once they are motivated, then definitely they can work perfectly and they are going to be more efficient as well. That is productive. Investigate factors influencing employee satisfaction and productivity. You are going to see this as well, that what are the factors, what are the associated factors or things which make the workers feel happy, motivated, and efficient. For example, researching work from home effectiveness could inform strategies for optimizing remote work policies. Like people who work from the home, the
Hmm.
remote working, even though they have to build a work environment in their homes too. It is very difficult because any person can come at any time. They can disturb you because it's a home. However,
Yes.
when you are in a competitive environment, there is strict laws. There is no your family or somebody, you have your personal cabins and everything. Consumer feedback and complaints, you need to see that what is the feedback of the product going on in the market and whether you are certain with the complaints or not, you are complying it with or not. For example, a service-oriented business could research consumer feedback to identify areas for service improvement. For example, we have bought an internet connection of Nayatel. This is a company in Pakistan. There are other
Hmm.
networks as well all around the world. So they always have a monthly checkup on us that whether the internet flow is perfect or not. That's
Hmm.
a service which they are providing and getting the feedback to. So this is 1.1. Is it clear?
Yes, clear.
Okay. Now we are jumping towards the assessment criteria 1.2. It states, explain the aim, scope, and objectives for the chosen area of research in strategic business development. So it is very clear that from the start, you need to select a topic from which you will be doing the research. That is from task 1 till 4. The topic is going to be the same.
Hmm.
So in 1.2, it says we have to talk about aim of the research, scope, objectives. These are the terminologies which are always in the research proposal, that why you are doing it, when you are doing this research, what will be the benefit to the society, to the perfect or to the audience, and the objectives, what is the outcome of it. Command Rep explained that everything should be in detail, in depth. Objectives. Objectives are specific, measurable, and time-bound targets that contribute to achieving the overall aim. All right. So in the research, what we do is first we need to see that whatever the objectives are, they are measurable. They're not fake or you are assuming. You can achieve them as well. And with that, they are precise too. For example, these are 5 objectives and the examples accordingly. First objective of your research could be conduct a comprehensive review of current digital marketing strategies employed by the company ABC. It's just an example. Then second could be identify the key digital trends and innovations relevant to the industry. Assess the effectiveness of the competitors' digital strategies. Like the notion, the essence is going to be the same for the objectives, but the words are going to be different and the objectives are going to be different. 1, 2, 3, 4, you can make 3, you can make 5, it's up to you. Develop a set of recommendations for the implementation of new digital initiatives. Create a roadmap for the phased implementation of the recommended strategies over the next 12 months. So, whenever we make objectives in the research proposal, there are mostly 3 or 5 in which we tell that why we are doing it and what is the purpose of doing the research. Then these are the elements of the discussion which is from 1.2 aim. The aim provides a clear statement of the primary purpose. That is the purpose which you are doing the research, reason of doing the research. For example, the aim emphasizes the intention to enhance market competitiveness through strategic initiative. Now, the topic which XYZ has selected, the main aim was to see the competitiveness of the market, that whether whatever the launch of the product or whatever the reason is in the market, in the industry, what is the competition behind it? Scope. The scope defines the boundaries of the research. That is, whenever you do a research, you cannot do the research openly. There are certain limits to it. For example, you are conducting primary research, you are conducting secondary, or raw research. It depends. For
Hmm.
example, it clarifies that the focus is on the digital transformation within the specific functions, excluding their operational aspects. This is the example for the one which we just read the objectives above. Then objectives. Each objective represents a specific task contributing to achieving the overall aim. Now, when we have decided the topic, we decided the aim of your research, why you are doing it, who will be getting benefit of that, that is the scope, and objectives. There are going to be three or five. Now, those objectives are depending on the SMART element as well and SWOT analysis too. SMART means that it is measurable. First of all, it is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. When even you are going to select the objectives, you need to see the SMART aspect. This is very important, and this is in your indicative content as well. SMART stands
Hmm.
for specific, that is, it should be in the limits. Measurable, it
Hmm.
is quantifiable. Achievable, that is, it's not, something which you cannot achieve. Relevant,
Yes.
that is, it is relevant to the research. And time bound, maybe you can do the research in 6 months or 12 months. That's the time frame.
Okay.
So these were the aim, scope, objectives which are in the research proposals. Defining the aim, scope, and objective is critical for guiding the research process. Yes, it is difficult, but once you are able to do it, then it's very easy to formulate the whole proposal. It helps researchers maintain the focus, allocate the resources effectively, and ensure that the outcomes align with the organization's strategic goals. Because you need to keep in mind that the topic you are going to select, it is from the strategic development. Secondly, whatever you are doing, whatever the proposal you are making, you have aims, objectives, streamlines, everything in it, it should be measurable as well. And it should be according to the goals of the organization too. The clarity provided by these elements enhances the research relevance and impact. Because first, we always read the abstract in the research proposal, that is, what the whole research proposal or the case study or the thesis is going to be about. Then we see that what are the aims, objectives, and the scope is. Just like hypothesis questions. Hypothesis question is when you give certain questions in which we select independent and dependent variables. That what are the depending notion of the research depending on the independent variables. Okay. Now, a small demo of formulating a research proposal, how it looks like.
Hmm.
Formulate means draw together, put together in a logical way, in a systematical manner, or terms or concept. That is, everything should be way too concise but perfect at the same time. A research proposal is a structured document that outlines the plan for conducting a research study. So the first thing which we came to know that what the proposal is, research proposal is a document which we always make on a Word document, Microsoft Word document, in which we are going to tell that why we are doing the study, the research study. It serves as a blueprint or the roadmap for the research project, providing a comprehensive overview of the research objectives, methodology, timeline, and potential outcomes. Why research proposal is important? First, just like I'm giving you the slides, first, what I made you saw, the roadmap of your course. We
Hmm.
know that we're having four learning outcomes, we're having specific indicative content, we're having the assessment criteria too, right? We did
Yes.
write the learning outcomes and the unit aim, that is, what is the purpose of this course? That is the
Hmm.
reason of making a research proposal, because it's kind of the whole map, guide through which we do our research further on. The main components of research proposal include, first of all, it's always a title. So the first thing in the research proposal is always a title. A concise and informative title that reflects the essence of the research. I am explaining the terminologies. When you will be doing it, we will be doing it in a proper way. Introduction. An introduction to the research problem. That is, what is the reason you are conducting the research? That's the problem. Background information and the context in which the study will take place. It often includes a rationale for why the research is necessary. So you need to tell this in the introduction. Then literature review or methodology. A review of existing literature relevant to the research topic, that is all the research. If you're doing it secondary, on the secondary basis, your research is secondary, you're going to take the information from the authors and the writers which have already conducted the research on that topic from their thesis. And you're going to give the referee as well. This section demonstrates the researcher's understanding of the previous work and identifies the gaps or areas for the further exploration. If you remember that in the research proposals and in the thesis, we do identify the research gaps as well. Research gap or the area of the research is the areas which are lacking the information in that specific paper, the base paper which we select for making our research proposal. And we are going to work on it in elaborative way, that is in detail, in those areas which were problematic in that paper. Research questions or hypothesis. Hypothesis, research questions, both are the same words. Clear and specific questions or the hypothesis that the research aims to address. That is why you are doing the research. You need to tell in that question. Those are known as hypothesis questions. These questions guide the entire research process. They're very important. So this is the formulation of the research proposal. Then what do we have in it? Objectives or aim. Clearly stated objectives that outline the intended outcomes of the research. That is why you are doing it. What will be the outcome of it when you will be doing the research? Methodology. A detailed description of the research design, sampling or the sampling strategy, data collection methods, and data analysis techniques. This section outlines how the research will be conducted. In the methodology, you always do the detailed analysis, and with that, you are going to tell that how you're going to do the research. That is most important thing, because for maybe you're going to take data from someone else, or maybe your research is quite dignified and you can go and take the surveys, interviews from the people. It depends. Then ethical considerations. Discussion of the ethical issues related to the research, including participant consent, confidentiality, and any potential risk. Just I said right now that we can take interviews and surveys. People, they hesitate to give the interviews and surveys as well because your name, your email ID, your phone number is selected. So you can tell them that everything is confidential. Your name is not going to be inside my research. That's very important thing. Significance of the study and the importance of the study. That is why we are conducting it, why it is important. Explanation of the importance and potential contributions of the research to the field of study. Why we are doing the research, because it will dignify or help a specific component in our uh, company. That is why we're doing it. Timeline, that is the time frame. A proposed timeline for completing the various stages of the research, indicating key milestones and deadlines. That is, you will be completing aims in 1 week, objectives in 2 weeks, like that. These are the timeline frames. Budget, if applicable, a breakdown of the financial resources needed to conduct the research. That is, if your research is primary, definitely you need money for it, and the associative body and the professors which are helping you out, they are going to finance. Expected results or outcomes. Anticipation of the potential results and their implications of the research field. What do you feel like that what will be the outcomes of my research? Definitely you have a scenario planning in the mind. Conclusion, a concise summary that reinforces the importance of the research and its alignment with the broader goals. That is ending of the research proposal. So this is what is included in the research proposal, which even you will be making, inshallah. You will be explaining every step according to the topic you will be doing. Okay?
Okay.
This is an example for you. That's, it's a summary version again, but just to make clear, I added it. Let's read it.
mm,
Consider a multi-tech automotive company, Green Drive Motors, that is contemplating a strategic expansion into electric vehicles and sustainable mobility solutions. Now, you can see that in the introduction, what they are telling. They are telling that what they are and what they want to do in it. This aligns with
mm,
the global trend towards sustainable tech, the growing demand for electric vehicles, and the increasing focus on reducing carbon emissions. They're telling the reason as well why they're doing the research, the background on what topic they're going to do it. Background.
mm,
Green Drive Motors, a well-established player in the traditional automotive market industry, recognizes the need to adopt to changing consumer preferences, stringent environment regulations, and the rising awareness of the sustainability issues. The company envisions a strategic shift towards sustainable tech, a crucial step for the future growth and competitiveness. Research proposal title: Sustainable Transformation Navigating the Green Drive Motors into the Electric Vehicle Era. You can make your topic or title big or small, it's up to you. Aims of the research: explore market dynamics and trends in the electric vehicle and sustainable mobility sector. Assess internal capabilities including tech readiness, manufacturing process, and R&D strengths, that is the research and development department related strengths. Develop a comprehensive business plan for entering the electric vehicle market. Now, I don't think so you need an explanation for it because this is an example of the research proposal which will definitely help you out.
okay.
Uh, like, are you getting it?
Yes, yes, I'm getting.
Okay. Then scope research. In the scope, which we just read right now, what we are going to do? First, we are going to do the SWOT analysis, that is
Mm,
strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Pest analysis, this is when we are going to see what are the factors which can affect our study from external, that is from outside. Analyze the organization structure, culture, and operational process. Evaluate the partnerships and collaborations if there are only then. Otherwise, no need. What is the pest analysis? Pest analysis is a strategic management tool used to analyze and evaluate the external macro environmental factors that can impact on the organization. That is, those factors which can affect you from outside, and they could be employment, inflation, like these. The acronym PEST analysis stands for political, economic, social, and technological factors. So PEST stands for what? Political, economic, social, and technological factors. When you're going to do and analyze this in the research, you're going to see it separately. First, political sector, then so on. It provides a framework for understanding the broader influence on the organization business environment. SMART objectives: specific, measurable, the one which we just read above.
yes.
Identify and analyze market trends in electric vehicles within the next 3 months. Now, we're telling the objective as well, and we're telling the time frame too. Conduct a complete or a comprehensive SWOT analysis of the green drive motors within the next 4 months. That is telling the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Develop a
Mm,
detailed business plan for entering the electric vehicles market within the 6 months. We are telling the time frame as well, and we're telling the objectives too. Terms of reference. An interdisciplinary team comprising experts from the research and development, marketing, and strategy department will lead the research. Now we have to tell and dignify that what people are going to be involved in the research. These are the special people who are going to surpass your research proposal. Then success criteria. Again, this is from your indicative content. In success criteria, we are actually discussing the PEST, SWOT analysis. But separately, what we do, development of a strategic roadmap within the specified timeline. Roadmap, that's your research proposal with the timeline. Alignment of the
mm,
objectives within the business developmental needs, positive reception and endorsement of the proposed plan by the stakeholders. We need to see the considerations from the stakeholders as well, the people who take the decision on the daily basis. Project planning. In this, what we discuss, we always go for key milestones, that is the analysis of the market, assessment inside the market, and the plan of development. With that, we have resources, that is whether we will be getting the funding from inside the org or not. Then communication system, regular updates through team meetings, progress reports. How you're going to have a proper meeting of a topic which we have selected for the research proposal. We can have a regular meeting. It could be online. It could be in the what do we call in the organization too. Link to business development. Again, if you remember, I told you earlier that we have to link with the goals of objectives of the organization. The research directly addressed Green Drive Motors' business development needs by identifying the new growth opportunities, fostering innovation, and ensuring a competitive edge in the evolving automotive landscape. Because in general, the objectives of the organizations are what? To be innovative, to be unique, and to be have a competitive edge in the market. Addressing the topic because this is about vehicles, cars, that is why. And they're working on EVs now. Conclusion.
Mm.
This research proposal aims to guide Green Drive Motors through a strategic transformation, positioning the company as a leader in sustainable mobility solutions and contributing to a long-term success and environmental responsibility. So this is how I concluded the research proposal, but this is a very smaller version of it. When you are going to do it, if you remember, the word limit was 3,300 words, 3,000 to 3,300 words. These are the links, and that's it. Um, is the relay check there to you?
Yes, yes, clear.